We finally have a true conclusion as justice has came down as an official ruling against a drill sergeant that was made popular in this viral video that happened in April only a couple months ago. Now, this drill sergeant goes by the name of Jonathan Pentland, and this was an altercation with this other gentleman known as DeAndre Williams, a 22-year-old male that was known to have a verbal altercation with his neighbor. Per some of the reports and some of the court rulings, it does look like DeAndre was notorious to be in the neighborhood walking around through this area, and there were neighbors that would complain about their interactions with him and kind of consider them to be creepy. Even at one point, one of the neighbors saying that her sister-in-law had a child which he would pick up. They had no permission to pick up this child. Just to refresh your memory, I will replay a good majority of the video right here.
Go away right now.
Call the police.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting.
Picking fights with who?
You know what? Maybe you should hang out a little longer. We'll
Let's
see
go.
how it goes. Then we won't have to get the report by ourselves.
What is it you're doing here?
Walking.
Then
walk
walk.
out.
Okay, and that's what I was doing. So she came out of house and ran
Well, you've been here like 15 minutes now.
Let's go. Walk away.
Keep walking.
Walk away.
I already walked away.
Walk away right now. You need help?
You got this on camera.
I'm happy to help you.
You already hit me.
I didn't hit you.
You just pushed me, sir.
There's a difference between
Pretty sure
pushing
you were
you.
the aggressor, buddy.
You're aggressing on the
When
neighborhood.
someone came running at the
Walk
house.
back.
You better walk away. You walk away. You talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
I didn't do
Walk
anything to
away.
your wife to speak.
Check it out. You either walk away or I'm going to carry your ass out of here.
Dude, if you touch
What do you
me,
want to do?
You better not touch me.
Or
I'm
what?
not arguing
What are you going to do?
You up on me.
Let's go.
And
Walk
I'm not
away.
upset. I didn't do anything to you.
I'm about to do something to you. You better
I
start
do
walking.
anything to her. I do anything to her.
You better start walking
So
right
when
now.
you come after me like that,
I ain't coming
you're
after
the one in the
you.
wrong.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, mother.
I
Get
live
out.
here, sir.
Get out.
I live here, sir.
Where? Where's your house? What's your address?
Maybe we should walk you home.
You can't walk me home.
Well, you bet. You want to bet what I can do?
I live here, sir.
Okay,
Right
what's
now,
your
you're
address?
harassing the
I'm
neighborhood.
not harassing anyone walking through the neighborhood I live in, sir.
Where? 'Cause check it out. We are a tight-knit community.
Okay.
We
How
take
long
care
have
of
you
each
been
other.
here? How long have
A
you
hell of a
been
lot
living
longer than your ass, because
How
I
long
have
have you
never
been
seen
living
you
here?
before in my
How long
life.
have you been living here?
That's
Why
none of
does
your
that even
business.
matter to you?
How long have you been
It
living
doesn't
here?
matter. You know what? Get the hell out of my face.
You've been
Get out of my
aggressive.
face.
You walked up to me.
Check it out, motherfucker. I ain't playing with you. You either get your ass moving or I'm gonna move you.
You smell drunk.
You want to bet?
You are drunk.
I'm about to show you what I can do.
I would suggest that
You better walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
I'm walking. You keep following me, sir.
There's only one way out of here. It's right over there.
There's multiple ways out of here, sir.
You want to bet? Walk away.
Got to interject here. If you guys like this video and you like what this follow-up story is about, and you want to see more of these types of stories, you can always hit subscribe, notification bell, like this, comment, things like that to help this video out. Again, if you do that, you will also help our goal to reach our next milestone of 150,000 subscribers. We appreciate it. Thank you. This video, you can see that this has really brought up two various camps that were kind of trying to jump to the punch before the other could as far as this goes, and it kind of led to two different points. On one side, there are people saying that there were some R-word undertones from this interaction because there are definitely two men that are different colors. On top of that, I will say there is a guy that does have a buzz haircut, but he's a drill sergeant, so there were a lot of people linking those together very quickly. On top of that, there was speculation that the wife did not know what the altercation was actually about. She has heard that there was an altercation and someone saying that someone should call 911. People were saying that DeAndre should be able to walk throughout this neighborhood freely without being bothered. Now, on the other side of this fence, many people were upset because there was no information or video to show what happened beforehand. The person taking the video does look to be DeAndre's friend, so obviously there is going to be a video started after the altercation already started to take place, and so that's why we don't see any of the beginning of this from the start. Also, people saying that Jonathan should have been able to protect his family, his neighbors, things like that, as that is a God-given right, and they're saying that this kid was encroaching on his property, even though you can see in this footage he's on the sidewalk there, but we don't know, again, what happened. That's kind of where this all jumps to. People are just saying this, and then it's like you're killed if you are in between the fence waiting for the judicial process to take place. Even Brigadier General Beagle does talk about this back in April, and this is what he said, just to remind you guys. First, I want to reiterate that the command in no way condones the behavior and actions depicted in not just one but two recent videos posted to social media, said Brigadier General Milford Beagle Jr., former commander of Fort Jackson. Those behaviors are absolutely counter to the Army values and professionalism expected of soldiers both on and off duty. You got to remember, back earlier this year there were talks about extremism amongst the ranks, where people were saying we need to avoid these fringe barrier types of mentalities within the U.S. military, and those were passed down by Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, where we did a stand down talking about these different fringes and kind of how to identify them and what to do if you do recognize them, or what you're supposed to do as far as reporting them. Now, with the verdict coming out of this case, it does look like the lawyer for Jonathan Pentland has made a few comments talking about this. Benjamin Stitley, Pentland's lawyer, said they are disappointed with the judge's decision and are looking into further pursuing legal remedies to challenge the decision. Mr. Pentland stands by his right to defend his family and home from genuine threat and is deeply hurt by the situation, Stitley said in an email on Tuesday. We are disturbed by the lack of investigation into the background factors regarding Mr. Williams' actions leading up to the small portion of the encounter captured in the viral video. Now, the result of this case does look like Jonathan Pentland could serve one of two punishments, one of those being 30 days in jail, or the other being a fine of $1,087. I do want to say as well, you have to understand that's not including court fees, the lawyer fees, all that kind of stuff that's going to come with that. So I'm assuming this would be several more $1,000s. I'm not really sure, but I will say that you're probably going to see a pretty good penny of expense on his part. Now, it should also be noted from this case, there are two major factors that have not been discussed previously to when the first initial video came out. One of those was the fact that they were talking about the neighbors did go on to further testified that they stood by their remarks from the initial encounter, you could say. Now, on top of that, it does look like DeAndre's father has also testified or made certain remarks to justify, why he might act a little bit off, but they say this. His father testified in court that Williams previously had lymphoma that he believes caused brain damage, and while he's now in remission, he suffered swelling throughout his lymph system and in his brain. According to the state, Williams was a high-performing student, his father said, but now struggles with basic tasks. He doesn't quite understand things as we would, his father said, according to the Post and Courier. It would make sense if you see him kind of acting strange, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, because it's such a variable of what would happen, and I'm not going to speculate on someone's health care, but it does look like that could be a fact. Also, to add context here, it does look like a local South Carolina news outlet did cover DeAndre being a missing person earlier this year and talking about how he had a vulnerable condition and how he was actually found, so this would back up the claims that his father made. Again, Pentland's remarks as far as following this, he says this. Pentland said in court, at no time was he trying to hurt Williams. He said, I had no idea what his intent was because he was actually really strange. Really weird, Pentland said. He was unstable. At that point, I didn't know what he was capable of. Now, after this entire debacle, it does look like it brings another question here, because as a active duty U.S. military member, you do follow the civilian court proceedings, but you also could be under the Uniform Code of Military Justice as well. And that does bring in question here, because there was a letter released previously in April of this year from Army leadership where they did kind of discuss this option and have said this. Specialist First Class Pentland has been charged by Richland County for his actions on April 12th. While I have the authority to take action under the Uniform Code of Military Justice or take other administrative actions, I have the utmost confidence in our civilian criminal system and trust that it will reach a fair and just resolution of this case. I do not want to take any actions now that could interfere with the fair resolution of civilian criminal charges for the incident of Sumter, South Carolina. I have no jurisdiction, yet remain equally confident that our civilian system will apply due process as as the case is reviewed and handled by officials in Sumter County. It does look like he did not definitively say that this was going to be the end of the case, and maybe we could see something because he did say he still holds that power. So bringing this case to a ultimate close as far as the civilian side goes, do you think this is an appropriate judgment as far as like the punishment goes, as far as military side goes? Do you think that this should carry over into his military career, or should this just be held over at the civilian side? I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, if you guys support what we do here, you can always support over at patreon.com, located down in the description below for special perks and benefits. On top of that, the YouTube join button for a membership here for special perks and benefits as well. As always, if you guys have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.